For the past month now, the doors of a church-run preschool in Southern California have been shut by order of the California Department of Social Services. The reason? Well, let's find out. We're going to be joined now by the executive pastor of the church, Pastor Kevin Miller. He's administrative pastor at Foothills Church, which has been running this preschool for the past 6 years. Pastor Kevin, welcome to Washington Watch.
Thank you so much, Tony. And I got to tell you right off the bat that we are so grateful to be in the battle with you. We're just what you do and how you lead is really, really good. And so anyway, thanks for all your service and what you do.
Well, thank you, Pastor Kevin. I appreciate that. And I was shocked when I saw this because, you know, many people think that the state of California has moved on from its harassment of churches, but it continues. You have a preschool, been operating there for 6 years. You got about 100 students. Many families depend upon it. It's a part of the church's ministry, but you've been shut down. You're going to be back in court, I believe, this Friday. Why were you shut down?
You know, in a nutshell, Tony, it's because we were unable to successfully mask 2, 3, and 4-year-olds in our preschool. You know, up till September 29th, we had been ministering to hundreds of families over the years. And like you said, we had a waiting list. People wanted to come to our preschool. It's really a fabulous ministry of the church. We also have a school district and reach out. Before COVID, over 5,000 young people every single week. That's the church that we are. So everything was fine until they said they got a complaint. We haven't really heard where that came from, but they started an investigation and what we really consider bullying and harassment over the next 60 days. They came out for 9.5 hours at a time on seven different visits, 11 overall, when so many of the preschools in our area, East County of San Diego, hadn't had a more than one visit in 5 years. So they targeted us, they came after us, and there really was very, very hostile. They interviewed 3-year-old, 4-year-olds without their parents' knowledge or permission. They were antagonistic towards our teachers. These are preschool teachers. I think we know what preschool teachers are like. And kids wouldn't come back to school because they were so stressed by what the interviews were like, and the teachers as well. So we called Senator Brian Jones, our state senator, who's a real strong proponent and fighting the battle in Sacramento, if you can imagine. And he had a talk with the State Department of Social Services head. And it seemed at that point that they became a little more cooperative. They kind of cooled it down a little bit. And we started working together and doing the best we could, because they say we have to mask preschoolers, but we can't force them to wear masks because it's against their civil rights. We have a lot of parents who taught their children, just say no, thank you. And so we were working with this and going along. And after Brian's call, it seemed as though it had de-escalated. They took away $2,600 of the thousands of dollars in fines. They were fining us on a weekly basis, even when we were closed. And then they said, you know what, we're going to sign you off here. We can see you're making progress. You're doing well. They put it in writing. And then they came back in and shut us down under the guise of an annual visit. And they had been in their annual visit. They had been here for closing in on 40 hours going through all our files over the course of 2 months. So the annual visit was kind of silly.
Now, when I saw, I've read as much as I could that's been in the press about this story, but going through the files, spending hours combing through your files, what does that have to do with mask?
It's because they were looking for any other violation that they could. And with preschools and with the Department of Social Services, they can always find something. We got a violation because while children were napping in a preschool room, the teacher was wiping down all the surfaces and sanitizing with some wipes. And she had put them back in the cupboard while she was wiping down, but she hadn't locked the cupboard. They said that we put these sleeping children, they didn't note that in the report, but these sleeping children in danger because there were poisons that were in the room that were in an unlocked cabinet.
Clorox
they looked for
wipes.
anything.
Yeah. So you get it either way. I mean, either you're not wearing them, making them wear masks, which by the way are pretty much ineffective for children.
The numbers are startling at 2, 3, and 4-year-olds, I got to tell you.
Exactly. I mean, look, we're talking about kids. I mean, you can't even get them to stand still, let alone wear a mask. But even Even many of the experts say that it's not necessary to mask children. Where's the science in all of this?
I'll tell you, we have a collection of reports, 400 medical studies that say this is totally ineffective. We hope to enter that into the evidence as well. I'm not sure we'll be able to, but you're right. At the same time, the kids playing around outside can have their masks off because that really doesn't make sense. They can sit down at lunch and share each other's sandwiches. So I don't know. Anybody who has preschoolers, they know how hard that is.
We're up against a break, but Pastor Kevin, Friday is a court hearing. What will take place there?
It's a settlement hearing, and if we can't come to an agreement there, then the 26th, 27th, and 28th is an official hearing. Until then, 100 kids are out of daycare and 21 employees are unemployed, and the director has been told she can't work with children for the remainder of her life.
Amazing. And I know how important that is as a former pastor that had a daycare. It's a great ministry to the community. Pastor Kevin, we'll be praying. We'll encourage our folks to pray for that hearing coming up on Friday, and we'll check in with you to see how it goes.
We appreciate it so much. Thank you, Tony.